This video is sponsored by Wing Technology, your ultimate flight sim hardware solution.
Hello everyone, we hope you're all doing very well. Today is another Satal match. Well, it actually happened a few days ago, and we've had a bit of a delay in getting the video out. And between doing the match and making the video, the DCS has updated. We're on a new version of DCS, which means we can't actually go and watch the match back with all the fancy graphics. So instead, we've had to load it up in TAC-View. So we're going to have to watch it in TAC-View. My apologies, it's the best we can do today, but we'll make the best of it. We've got a big crowd. Say hello, crowd.
Hello. Hello. Hello, crowd.
Feel free to butt in at any time, apart when I'm talking. We are playing today, or have played, TFT, Task Force Trident, and we have the pleasure of having them in. Say hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
We've got Starlington, we've got Ghost, we've got Rage, and we've got... Did Chewie turn up?
He's gone to the shop. He should be here anyway.
He's gone to the shop. Okay, guys. Now, Bear isn't here, who usually does my talking. So what I'm going to do is set this going. And can you explain to us, Rage, because there's always going to be people that haven't seen Satal and have no idea what it is before. Explain your understanding of Satal and the rules of the match, please. If you know about it, just skip forward in the video, obviously.
Right, it's two leagues. Squadron Air-to-Air League. This is Gold League, which is 4v4s. We've got AWACS, and we're fighting on the A rule set, which is M120Cs. You're allowed a maximum of 6 Fox 3s unless you're in a Tomcat, in which gets 4, and we're allowed Mark 60s or M54Cs.
Roger. Okay, and it's, you know, once you've shot down, that's it. It's the end of the round, and there is best of 3 rounds. And there is, can you explain, I never really understand this, you know, there's a bullseye and there's a kind of a, like a dome around bullseye, a virtual dome, and you have to get in within that and whatnot?
Yeah, so you've got, there's kind of a radius from bullseye going around, and that's, let's say, the engagement area, and it's kind of like King of the Hill, you know, you've got to capture the hill, hold it, kill everybody, you know, on the hill, and then once everybody else is dead on the opposing team, the hill is yours. You can RTB.
Roger. And you have to, at least one person has to RTB, yeah?
At least one person, yeah.
Roger. Let's go through the teams for the day. We've got on GR, Squirtle, Bear, Signore, and Leighton. So that's the GR Dream Team. And geez, has anyone noticed how steep they're climbing? I've never seen that before. Massively steep. Let's go and have a look at the Blues today. We've got Rage, and we've got Chewie, and we've got Agent Orange, and we've got Lynx of the Sky. And whoa, I just noticed. Sorry, go ahead.
Still sitting on a Rio seat.
Yep. Oh, right. So you got to have a human Rio.
You don't have to.
No, not in Gold League.
Right.
In Diamond League, you got to have human Rios.
Right. So how many actually humans have you got on your side here?
It's 5.
5.
Roger.
4 pilots, 1 Rio.
And I've just noticed you're all in Tomcat. You know what? I've seen probably, I don't know, 20, 30 Satal matches now, and I've not seen it. Well, I almost never see Tomcats, and whenever I see them, they don't do very well. But I've never seen an all Tomcat match, which is interesting. And you know what? Before we go and, you know, have a, you know, obviously you don't want to give all your super secret tactics away, but you can give some basic ideas away. Before we do that, I'd like to go and show the valued viewers the league standing as it is now, kind of pre-match standby. So you can see here, came from Bear, the pre-match standing. So this is our Gold League combined groups. At the first position is Tor Wolfpack. I think they've been up there all the time. Points 15, played 5 times. Then it's German Tactical Air Group. Then it's Grim Reapers. Played 4, got 12 points. Where are you boys? There you are, Task Force Trident. 9 points. Played 4. Okay, and then you've got all your other stats there. And of that, there's kind of a subgroup. What's the little 4-man subgroup called? Just, if there's a name for it.
That is, so the Viper group, that's our group.
Yeah, my bad. Roger. That's like our subdivision, if you like, and we play between us lots. And I'm very proud to say my boys are in the lead. Woo, woo, woo. Grim Reapers, 4 played and 4-1, which is very good. And you got the TFT and all the other guys that we've been playing, basically. I was just going to say, could you talk to us a bit about your decisions of why to use Tomcats? It seems very, for me, just not a very good idea. But what's roughly, you know, what's your strategizing here?
Well, Tomcats are good at range, and I mean, we've got 4 guys that are good in Tomcats, so I mean, it's better than getting them to fly in F-16s that they're not used to, or F-18s that they're not used to. But apart from that, the Tomcat, I mean, it's a capable jet when you know how to use it.
The only problem... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we've just got to make sure that, you know, people aren't... They're not being silly and flying into ACM ranges or into a merge when they don't need to. And you'll see in this match, it happens in the first round. Doesn't go so well.
It goes pretty well for you, Rage.
Well, it goes well for me because I'm, you know, cool. But
yes. Cause
The thing is also, if we wouldn't use F-14s, Rage wouldn't get to fly with me.
there you go. No, I'm not saying don't use F-14. And I'm just a layman, I don't really know. But one thing I do know, yes, they're obviously the best long range, if the only long range shooter. But even I know once you get within kind of 20 miles, they're not hopeless. But you know, compared to a modern jet with HMDs and stuff, they are, you know, they're older and they're not as useful. So if I was going to have Tomcats, I'd have two Tomcats belting away, and I'd have two F-16s or 18s or whatever for the medium to close range stuff.
yeah. Well, really, it's more about that 7 to 5 mile range where it starts to get dangerous. As soon as you get into the on the deck MAR of the 120C and 120B, that's where it starts to get dangerous for the Tomcat. So if you get inside of 15 miles and you start launching a Phoenix, even on a cold target, you can catch them and kill them.
Right, so my guys have done a classic pair split, which is great. We're at very fast, so we're true airspeed of 700 knots, which is very fast because we're at 30. Angel's 35. Has it got a Mach there? No Mach, but take my word for it. That's very fast. Let's see what range.
It's under the name.
Cap, if you press left alt enter, you'll get full screen for cinematic effect.
Oh, how about that? Right, ranges guys are surprisingly lower, 26, 26, and 30, and 100 knots slower. But I guess, I mean, what we're used to doing at this point is getting as much energy as possible because we've got to win the AMRAAM fight. The thing is, we can't beat you in this medium to long range, so you guys can go a bit slower. You don't have to go full burn, I suppose.
Well, you start to see the power of the Tomcat here, where they start defending without any missile warnings.
Prematurely,
they're afraid that a Phoenix is coming in.
Well, why don't we just look for your smoke to smoke?
Well, they're losing all of their altitude, trying to defend against Phoenixes that haven't been launched.
Why have they mistaken your aeroplanes for Phoenix? I'm guessing.
Possibly outside visual range. That's a DCS limitation.
I think they're about 50 miles away, and you won't see the smoke until about 40 miles.
Yeah, about 40, 30 miles is when you start picking up those trails. So you're not going to see them. They just defend.
They're just preemptively defending.
How interesting. Predict the pass. So they thought you would have fired. Let's see what ranges we're at. They thought you would have fired within 40 miles, which, to be fair, would make sense, right? Make use of those big long-range missiles. But you haven't, and it's going to put Red on the back foot and put me on the back foot here. Also, we started losing shape, which is never good. We're going around a kind of a... What are we doing here? What's the shape? What's everything look like? So you guys have got... Wow, Angel's 40 now, so you can just start plumbing those Marks... You got Mark 60s on, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just the best. Kinematically, dodging a Mark 60, incredibly difficult thing to do, especially if you're at altitude yourself. So this guy gets his launch warning. Angel's 30. This is before the missiles are broken, isn't it? Yes, it must be. Otherwise,
yeah, it is before.
Roger. And watch how fast this thing will get 2,000 knots easily. It's so fast. Okay, Squirtle's seen it. Visually, probably. He's diving.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the missile warning yet.
Roger, it's going to probably notch it. Now, the interesting thing is you guys are using these like medium-range missiles. You're using them at ranges of medium-range missiles. Is that so you can really ensure that they kill, or like 20 miles? We would use AMRAAMs.
Yeah, it makes them a lot more dangerous and gives them less time to notch. Watch Bear here.
Trying. Let me just go out full screen for a second to get that tool on that I really like. There we go.
Yep.
Okay, so presuming Squidward's going to beat that. Yes, he has.
There's Bear just to his left.
Yep, there's Bear. He's lost all of his height, unfortunately. Okay, we've got some kind of... They look like defensive 120s going out. And you guys are shooting over the shoulder. No, these pair are shooting over the shoulder. Great shape from the blues. Pair buddied up. Getting a conveyor belt going by the looks of things, which is great. No shape for the reds. We're all bundled, and we've just lost a man. Where did he go?
There's Bear.
I kissed a tree.
Oh, no. Well, that's their own fault, isn't it? Right.
He blacked out in his descent by the looks of it.
These things happen. Right. And lovely shape. Look how these guys know where the partners are. Signor is kind of following Signor is Squirtle, I
think
suppose.
Signore is paired with Leighton.
It's gone a bit wrong there.
Signore was flying as 3 and Leighton as 4.
So we've got these guys will go cold now. These guys will switch hot.
Yeah,
Really?
Basically, I keep Rage in the same part of my canopy throughout the match, pretty much. We're tight.
Roger. You know what I'll do, guys? If I was into F-16s, because I know how to fight Tomcats, I would just go straight down to the deck, go in the canyons, pop up in ACM. I don't see why we're trying to kind of fight on your terms here, but...
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do. But the thing with the Tomcat, I mean, you can go cold and you can get away quick. You know, you've got the power in the engines, and then you can climb and you can come back in with the Phoenix. So it's actually playing that low fight is very difficult, especially when if you're down lower. Generally, you're going to fire more missiles, and you're in gates more often. Means you're burning more fuel in thicker air.
Roger. Look at the lovely shape the Blues have kept. They're both cold now because they've determined that it's time to get distance away. So imagine these guys are like, imagine the Reds are like barbarians, and imagine the Blues are like kind of snipers. The Blues want to stay at range. They want to keep that 20-mile buffer, or 10 miles here. Keep that buffer between them. They don't want to get into ACM, whereas the F-16s are desperate to get into ACM. That's where they're going to do really well. That's a fast missile coming. Really fast missile. That's going to be hard to... Actually, I'm not sure who that's going for. Okay.
I think that's in Signore.
Squirtle's gone to ACM, which is a great thing. That's a good plane to be in. But I think he may have lost situational awareness. Oh, no, he's gone into a canyon.
It starts to go a bit wrong on our side, though.
Yeah.
People are breaking up.
Yeah, see the shape's gone on the Blues now. It's kind of not every man for himself yet, but it's getting there. I'm just checking data.
A nice little lucky shot coming in.
Roger, right place, right time, I guess, that one. It was kind of Squirtle's fault, though, because he didn't follow through. He kind of went here, then turned back around.
You could hear Orange's voice in comms wavering there as he got into 5 miles.
Yeah.
Shouting his Fox 2.
So that's a decent missile on him. That is, 1,300 knots. So it's going to have to work to do it. So Signore's ACM with Lynx. Are they going to trade? Oh, a couple of Duff Phoenixes came off. That's a kill. Oh, I was not expecting that. Wow, we notched in that giant tank. Fair enough.
This is the bit where it simultaneously goes for 2 pilots very wrong on our side.
Good. I'm happy with that. We've got really in close. It's a good opportunity for us. Agent is back. Lynx is back. He must have crashed. Okay, 2 on 2. Neutralise the threat, and Chewie and Rage aren't natural. Yes, no, that doesn't matter. Just that's fine. Right. So what we need to do now is, I guess, push and capitalise. Now we've got them in ACM. Now we should be able to see you because of our data link. No. Yeah, we should be able to see you with data link. That's the A50 there. So
data link doesn't necessarily work if you're too low down in the mountains. You might lose contact.
Well, we've got LOS to the A50. That's what I'm pointing now. We should see you. Okay, Leighton should get the advantage here. Yes, he's done a barrel roll and a dodge. Wow, I was going for the wrong guy. Oopsie. Ah.
But now you've got to ask yourself, how many missiles do those F-16s have left?
You guys...
I've only seen 120s come out, so they should have Fox 2s.
No, they don't carry Fox 2s.
No.
My team don't carry Fox 2s. We've traded them off for an extra AMRAAM.
120s turn just as good these days, almost as good as the M9X.
Okay, that is... I hate to gloat, but that's an amazing comeback, and it's almost certainly going to be a win for us, which I'm looking forward to. As Rage is ponting around with missiles that aren't long enough range, they're not going to hit. I'm not sure what Leighton's doing there. Bit weird, flying in formation with the Rage. Not too happy with that.
Leighton is trying to kill me. My body's still up, but I've actually been hit by.
So Chewie's doing a right-hand turn here,
Fair
and
enough.
he's about to merge with me as well.
Didn't know that.
But he's just about to eject as well.
Come on, shoot him down, Signore.
Well, Signore's got no missiles left, and what you'll see at this
Well, he's
point
got an
is
excellent gun.
Well, I've got 2 people on my 6 and defensive BFM.
Is Chewie now dead?
Chewie is just about to eject.
Okay, good.
30
So
seconds.
it's
There
properly, yeah, so
Looks
it's properly 2-on-1 now. You've got no way of surviving because we're 2 miles behind you. We're in not a faster jet, but we can accelerate faster than you. I know because I've done the tests.
But you know some of your BFM. Remember your turn circle entries.
Oh yeah, but he should come straight for you here. Come on. I would have gone head on and just jacked you with a gun. Okay, he's going to try and out-dogfight a Tomcat, which won't work, but with his buddy, obviously we can make it work. Over the top and rage, and that's the thing to do. That's what I've been taught in the F-14. Go over the top, and it can't be beaten by anything. Oh shit, that ain't going to be good. Come on, Signore! Ah, no! Bollocks! Okay, we can run out of luck here, Rage, I can tell you that.
Nice.
You got the Leighton on you. Yeah, that's perfect. Exactly what that Tomcat's designed to do from the guy that we got to come teach us. But he's giving his 6 away. He's giving his 6 away, and that's a big target.
Notice the speed on Leighton, though.
Oh, bollocks, we missed that.
600 knots almost. There you go, vertical reversal.
Come on.
Now the hunter
You are
becomes
very slow,
afraid.
Rage. You are very slow. Come on.
Yeah, I just dropped the half flaps at this point and just let myself go round.
God damn it. Come on, Leighton. Just go energy fire and get the shit out of it. No. Damn it. Wow, you had no right to survive that. That was really good Tomcat piloting. I can see you guys have been practicing Tomcat ACM. Because that's exactly how you should use it, isn't it? That poor...
Yeah, use that vertical wing load.
Just, what should we... I mean, yeah, it's done it, and it's done beautifully. What should my red guys should have done in that? Obviously, we've got no missiles. We couldn't have put missiles. But should we have headed away and come back against you? Extended away and come back against you? Or what would you have suggested?
Well, Signore's higher energy in when he merged. I think for Signore, he flew for the nose and he tried a stern conversion down through the vertical. And if he went for a better turn circle entry rather than that stern conversion, he would have been much better off. And as for Leighton, high energy, I was already in a turn fight, so naturally I'm going to be lower energy. He should have used that energy to go up in probably a defensive vertical spiral. But the question is, how many missiles do I have left? He wants to try and keep it tight. So probably for Leighton, he was too fast.
I'm amazed that no one managed to get a snapshot on you, because it's a big old target, and even my terrible eyes, I can hit a Tomcat. But I guess you were turning a lot during that. You were never really a nice target. Well,
To be fair, Leighton was spraying while he was going down. He almost got us.
Roger.
Yeah, the bullets went probably about a Tomcat's length away from us when he was flat spinning.
Roger. Oh, and that wouldn't really have been a very fair kill anyway. But yep. All right. Really great match. Shame we couldn't watch it on DCS, because that's Satal's all about. That's got long range, medium range, and then awesome dogfight. Where annoyingly the hero is on the blue side. That side. There you go. Are you going to try and say that it was all you, Stahl? It was all you that won that, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes, quite.
He did a lot of spotting for me.
Yes, indeed. Anything else before we get to round 2?
Stahl probably saved Rage's ass on finding those 2 guys behind him.
Roger. I mean, that's half the
Well,
battle by finding the guy.
RWR had it there as well, but Stahl saw Leighton up on the top left of us just before after Leighton merged when he went high.
But I think it's fair to say Rage and me is a pretty good symbiosis.
Yes, quite. All right, boys, let's go to the next round. What I want to see now is Rowenge, and nothing but. Okay, so first match run. There's swap sides now. What are you guys thinking at this point? Play it safe, or?
Well, if it was before, if you come down to 4v4 and there's one guy left, then you might be in a little bit of a panic and think that things are going to switch around. I don't know if I had some painkillers earlier or something, but I was a little bit more relaxed this round. But you'll definitely want to watch this bit, because something very interesting happens if you just focus on the links. And this is where we kind of start to panic.
Okay.
Or 7,000 feet.
Did you take him out?
7,000 feet. Full departure from flight from Chewie. Goes into a flat spin, and the F-14 just naturally recovered itself, and then he picks back up and he's fine. But Lynx has got one engine, and
geez.
Chewie's got like 3/4 of a jet.
So why did that happen? Why did one guy just jump in front of the other guy?
Well, Lynx, for some reason, he decided to sell his graphics card in anticipation of the 3070. So he's getting a bit of lag because he's playing on his CPU now. So he's getting a little bit of lag, but he had a bit of stutter there, and he just went into Chewie.
Okay, fair enough. Right, so we're on one man, one engine. One man's been shaken and bacon, and the other two are normal. Fine. My guys, let's just go here for the time being, are in their pet. Now this is interesting. Last time we split, and one north, one south. This time we're all going, well, whatever that is. I'm disorientated. I think south. Are we going to dodge?
Same as the last time. They're putting themselves over the hills as best they can.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. Okay, we've got some 54s. Sorry, I'm just going too fast here. Okay, at a range of about 30 miles, which is deadly, obviously, at this altitude. We're replying with 120s. Squirtle seeing the danger. He's defensive. Same with Bear. Yeah, you're right. Signori Leighton are together. But you guys don't seem to have seen these, which I like. This has lost the target. I think that's lost the target. What's going on here? No.
Keep an eye on those Phoenixes.
Oh no, Leighton! Oh, so dangerous! Deej! God damn it, I bet he's swearing like a mother.
Look at that other one.
Are you kidding? Oh man. They're so I can't dodge. Once I'm up at Angel 30, I can't dodge a Phoenix. I've got to be down 15 or lower to dodge a Phoenix. They're just so fast.
And that's that benefit of them as well. They just push everybody down to the deck.
Yeah. You either go evasive.
That means the fight's always on our terms.
It's difficult because you guys we're poking each other with sticks, and you guys have got a much bigger stick at the moment. You got less of them. Jeez, they make the 120 seem so poor. That's saying something, because 120s are pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I think at this range,
Sure.
well, at this range it's okay. You see how fast it goes right now,
Sure.
but it goes nowhere.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is a very, very big challenge for the GR side is the threat of like when is the next Phoenix coming in, especially after those two friendlies being splashed early on.
So we're keeping super safe now. We're keeping A over the hills, B keeping super safe. But I'm almost tempted to say don't fight Tomcats at Angels 30. Just keep low, because although it's tactically worse, at least you better dodge the missiles. Look at that one there, stalled. Look, that one went up and stalled. I've never seen that before.
It looks like that's gone for the AWACS.
Yep.
I mean, I think he just he hit that TWS and it went for an AWACS first or something.
That's funny. Look, it's gonna rear slide. You now look at the Tomcats. They're round robin. They were chainsaw, but they're doing it, keeping great control. They're keeping it out of the mountains. The Reds are like, yep, we don't need to go into the mountains, and they don't. I know they won ACM last time, but still, they don't want to go to the mountains. And so they're sucking the Blues out of the mountains where the Blues don't want to be.
And this is really at this point, this is how the first round should have went.
You guys are in full control.
Correct.
That's how the indeed.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a GR
Lynx
turn
and
up.
Orange. This is their first ever Satal match. So
Wow.
they're a little bit nervous in the first round, and when they were turning cold, they would turn in too early, and because of that, they ended up advancing and not realizing it.
Are you guys aware that the Phoenixes are about to change in their method of working?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It's going to make quite a bit because they're AMRAAMs at the moment, big long AMRAAMs, but they're going to change to actual Phoenixes soon. So it should change the tactics up a bit.
But they've got a couple of nice little secrets that will be very usable.
Whoa, Bear just got round him there. My guys are pinned, properly pinned. I mean, they're doing well for 2 guys. And it's nice that the Reds are not just going in there for the kill. They're playing the Tomcat game, which is to wait out in the open and just.
Is this the second
round 2? Roger.
Yeah.
Very exciting round 1.
Sup, Squirrel?
What's up?
This is Lynx with his one engine. He's low. He's starting to lose power here, and I think he just starts to get impatient, and he ends up going into the mountains to try and catch Squirrel.
Roger.
Yeah, this was a. I know. Sorry, I showed up late. We were in the middle of a scrim. Yeah, this was a tough round. We we didn't anticipate the missile launches properly, and we ate it. So that was unfortunate.
Do you think it's possible to dodge these Mark 60s when you yourself are at Angels 30 and it's hard to dive?
No, not at Angels. I mean, it's.
So you've got to fight lower down.
Anything's possible, but if you're Angels 30. Your chances are slim to none.
I mean, I think what kind of went wrong for them there is that we actually fired on the rear guys rather on the front ones.
They weren't expecting it at all. Excuse me. I like this at the moment because the Blues are not coming out of the mountains. We're saying, nope, we're not going to do it. And the Reds are like, you know what? We're not going into the mountains. We're not going to do it. So we've got this cool Mexican standoff.
This is the right play for them for sure. Because they know that we don't have the range to close in on them properly, and we're outnumbered. So, and if we expose ourselves, are going to get shot at, and they know that. So they know that they can sit here and wait for us to come out and just shoot us as we expose ourselves because they outnumber.
So what the hell is the play against these guys then? Because I said to Rage, well, why don't we just go in the mountains and go in the foothills all the way? And he says no, because they'll just run away. If they see the 16s are going down in the foothills, as a general tactic, the Tomcats will just get the burners on and just run away. What about sumoing, kind of literally pushing them out in the circle, out of the circle in that way?
Well, in this case, to do that, you'd have to come out of the hills, which means that you're about to fight the Phoenix,
Yeah, exactly. So they've got this nice flat terrain. So for us to push them out, they're very coordinated. They're doing well, and so for us to push 4 Tomcats out with 2 F-16s at this point would be very difficult. I mean, they're coordinated. It's at this point we're trying to hope that they come into the mountains, getting maybe a little bit bored, and we can pop up on them at this point, but they don't. So well played.
Lynx has run out of power and stuff, so he's just. I think now he's gliding in on no engines.
Might as well just go in and fire his missiles off then.
Funnily enough, one of these missiles on Bear, one of these AIM-9s, I think there's a couple of bugs. I'm not sure if it's this one or the next one. Seems like the AIM-9 seems to be a little bit bugged, where he notches the AIM-9. You'll see it in a second. Right there. AIM-9 gets notched.
It looked like a kinetic notch. It never lost track, per se.
Well, when you see it, you can see the missile just go straight, and then it starts to turn in on them again, as if it was box 3.
I don't know why it did that. Roger. How are you guys keeping your shape so well? Is everything visual for the Reds?
We've got visual, we've got TACAN aid, we've got data link as well. We just use it all.
That's a tracking missile. Oh, Jesus Christ. Great patience from the Reds here, not following up like I would. There's another tracking missile. Get by the mountain! Boom! Inevitable. The thing is, because you're shooting up and down, aren't you? So it's hard to hide.
That's the danger with the F-14. I can just go up to 6,000 feet and see over the hill. And it didn't matter at that point. It doesn't matter how low you are. I can see over the hill.
Yes. Right, lone man. All or nothing. I think he's lost his patience. He's just going for it. Charge!
Hey, Squirtle, what was your fuel right here?
Actually, I was below 3,000 after this, if I remember correctly, because I started slowing down and hoping that maybe, for a second, I was like, maybe if I just go as slow as possible and conserve as much fuel in the hills, I'll win the fuel game. But then I was like, this isn't gonna work. So it was definitely
fuel game in F-16, huh?
F-16 is pretty efficient, actually, much more efficient than the F-14.
As long as you're off burner.
Yeah. I could burn. I could sit around and fly slowly at like 3,000 pounds per hour.
That's the benefit of us still having 3 jets.
Well, yeah, you guys, if you wanted that, I realized, like as I thought about it, I was like, no, they can just get up in altitude and they would win all day.
Mm.
The F-16 actually has quite impressive economy. I mean, it has a 1,500-mile ferry range. It's not really relevant here, but it can be efficient if you use it efficiently in terms of fuel. But this is not an efficient situation.
You scare the crap out of Rage here.
Yes,
really
4 miles.
Missile launch.
Yeah, it was,
it launches at 3 or something.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
What is it? An MRAM. Terrain masking. Oh,
Just hits a tree.
Just.
If you look on the track too, I mean, it is very, very, very close.
Mm.
But at this point, I mean, obviously we're just going to think, there's no.
I think I'm also out of missiles.
Yeah, there's no point in rebounding up against a mountain here. So we just come out and set up for an attack. Did you realize you were out of missiles here, or did you realize when you were pointing up to try and shoot Chewie?
No, I'm normally pretty aware of my missile count pretty much all the time. I always check, especially when I know I'm outnumbered. I'm keeping I'm very conscious of how many missiles I have left, and I'm the only guy left. Just because I have to make them count, And that was like, that was a sub 3 mile shot. So I was like, well, this is about as close as I can get. So.
Well, Squirtle, there's a moment later where you nose up, and I'm looking down trying to find you.
I might have had I definitely ran out of missiles, which is why I went in for. I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to say anything.
Well, yeah, we're not gonna get too much away, but it was funny because you nose up, and I'm looking down, looking for you, and then all of a sudden, you just right as I tell Rage, where is he? You just pop flares for me.
That's an opportunity right there. That's an opportunity. One thing I know about that Tomcat is it's got a crappy look-down radar.
So what I'm doing here is I have data link, and I'm trying to sneak in to get underneath you so I can hopefully gun one of you. Yeah, I'm out of missiles at this point.
So he's going for Chewie.
This is not a missile.
Well, I can see him coming in, flying through the valley. So I come in for PAL, aim 9, aim 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that nose up was me trying to get underneath Chewie and gun him before they noticed. But then I got a missile warning from the aim 7, so I had to evade.
I'm surprised you could see Squiddle at all on data link. He was very low a lot of the time.
We didn't have him on data link. I think we had him at a brief point, but then I just followed the valley visually and so on. Fox 3 from Orange should never have happened. That was a silly Fox 3. But it hits a mountain, so it's all good.
Yeah, I was really hoping you guys would shoot each other.
Kill each other.
Yeah, so there's a chance. You got probably hotter engines on the 14, so you might get an aim 9. Right. We're in ACM again with a Tomcat, which is a very hard thing to beat, and good control.
At this point, I know Chewie sees him, and I'm going high and fast, and I see him pulling tight underneath me, so I just tell Chewie to Fox 2.
I want to see Squiddle. Do you want to see the ACM? Well, you've probably seen it from the
previous
one.
know.
See your thoughts on it as well.
Yeah, sure, I do. I definitely have some thoughts for it.
Because it was. It was what it was. It was impressive, and it was disappointing as well from our view.
It was it was. It's tough to watch from my perspective. I'm the leader of the team, and I try to get us all on the same page, tactically and skill wise, and to be honest, we've been neglecting ACM because it's generally a pretty small part of what we do. But of course, you can see when it actually matters. I think here everyone is out of missiles.
So it's a proper gun. So it's a 2v1. Obviously, 2v1. Rage has no business winning this. Obviously, it should be
exactly. There is no situation where in a 2v1 again in relatively same era jets that the one guy should win. And like I said, we had neglected this whole part of battle. We didn't really expect to get here. But anyway, basically, I can break it down for you. The air starts once the first jet is properly engaged. So about right here.
Yeah.
So Signore is engaged with Rage. Rage is basically what he is doing is he's basically in 1v1 BFM, because if he tries to fight 2, that's useless. If you pause it real quick, because it's happening really quick. What needs to happen here, and we've already discussed this. It was.
I don't think we need to talk about that.
It's just standard ACM tactics. So basically, when you have general ACM in a 2v1 situation, you want to have one guy offensive or defensive and one guy supporting, right? And we didn't have that. We didn't have that communication going. We had the I merged communication, I need help communication, but we didn't have the proper structure in place. And so what Leighton probably should have done, instead of merging at Mach 1.2 is slowing down and just settling in up high but behind Rage. You know, and getting into an offensive position on Rage, since Signore is in a defensive position.
So Leighton is under pretty much zero threat. I mean, you're never under zero threat, but pretty much zero threat. So what he can do is position himself upstairs so that he can drop down onto this tail.
So let me put it this way: Rage is maneuvering in relation to Signore, not in relation to Leighton. So Leighton has all the maneuvering room he could possibly want to settle right in. And you know, obviously this is a slow fight concerning Rage and Signore's, and Leighton is so fast, he's ineffective. And he's in a bad position. And so that's just something we've talked about, and we're going to definitely have to practice, because, you know, that shouldn't happen. It's a very simple fix, too, honestly. So.
With competitions, we have good days and bad days, and we certainly didn't show up on this day.
This would be a bad day.
If my missiles didn't come off the rail, first phrase in this round, and in an attempt to try and troubleshoot it, I flew into a mountain.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Those 6 missiles that were wasted in the mountain would have changed this round. That's for sure.
Definitely, but
totally my fault.
Well, I mean, it's not totally your fault, because as we see here, there were more errors that were made later on, where we still could have won. But look, you know, credit goes to Rage here for
it's great flying,
for keeping it together, and you know, keeping his standard BFM going on, and you know, wrapping it up, and you know, luckily for him, our guys made some big mistakes, but you know, he stuck to the you know, the correct maneuvering, and it worked out for him. So it was good.
Leighton really seems to be struggling with the Tomcat going so slow. It's barreling around it at 500 knots, and you just can't.
So there's a lot of BFM errors. So this is really there's a lot. So Leighton made a mistake when he overshot Rage. He shouldn't have kept pulling into Rage and dumping energy. What he should have done is just extended upwards vertically, because he should have seen that Rage is slow. And when you're merging, you know, when you have a whole half a Mach on somebody, when you're merged, just go up, you know, climb. They don't have it. You know, he doesn't have missiles, because you've been in this fight this long. You know, he doesn't have a missile.
Yeah, gets the altitude energy comes by itself.
Yeah, so exactly. So you're converting your speed into altitude, and Rage wouldn't have been able to follow him up. Right. Now, this is all very hindsight, it's 2020 kind of thing. But that would have been the right thing, especially, I mean, in DCS as it is right now, the F-16 is one of the worst rate fighters as it is. The F-14 and the F-18 outrate
That's
the F-16.
correct. I've done that. I've done studies on it, and that's correct.
And they outradius the F-16. So the last thing you want to do is get into an ACM fight. But if you are, which obviously it's unavoidable here, you know, you have to play to your advantage, and his advantage in this case was energy. And if you have a superior energy state, you can, even with inferior statistics for your plane, and performance, I should say, you could still pull it around. But he made a BFM mistake there after he overshot, and it cost him the BFM.
Roger. Okay, guys.
Thing about a tight pulling Tomcat can't speed up too much if they commit into the fight constantly.
Yeah.
Yep, and you know, as we know, jet engines, the faster you go, the more air goes into the compressor, which equals more thrust. And so Leighton would slow down slower as he went vertical than Rage would. Rage was already in a pretty close to a stalling point when they actually were going up. And again, it would have been a really critical moment. And if we were to go back to when there was a 2v1, I again would have liked to have seen Signore, knowing that he had a Tomcat on his 6. You don't want to turn to the Tomcat, and knowing that you have a buddy, what really should have happened there is Signore should have gone towards Leighton, extended. You have a higher acceleration in the F-16 and a higher speed on the ground as well. So a higher top speed at low altitude. And so he could have extended out here in a second. Yeah, as you can see, I've gone through this a few times.
Well, that's what I was saying to Rage before you guys turned up. I was saying, how what if I was Signore, what should I have done? And I know I don't want to turn with a straight wing Tomcat, so I said I should extend it maybe. Yeah.
So right here, I think what really needs to be driven home, and for people watching when you're in a 2v1 situation, is you may not actually need to think about BFM yet at this point. If you're in the group of 2, Rage absolutely does need to think about BFM. It's all he's got now at this point. But what Signore needs to see, so if you just play it, Signore will see, all right, this should be a stop. Oh shit, I merged with an F-14. Okay, I have a buddy. Okay, I'm slow. I'm below my corner speed. As you can see, he's at 400, it's below corner speed. He's with a Tomcat, he's pulling around. I'm going to extend towards my buddy. Tomcat's slow, he's rolling over the top. I'm going to keep extending, accelerating on the ground. I know I have a buddy. That's it, right? And so Leighton could then still, because now Rage has to make a choice. Do I keep maneuvering in relation to Leighton, or do I maneuver in relation to Signore? Now it's already fucked. So he could have extended, and then Rage would have had to maneuver in relation to Leighton at this point, if he wanted to stay alive. And then they could have alternated who he was maneuvering in relation with.
Wear him down.
Yeah, and that didn't happen. And again, that's part of what we've got to work on. And you know, Signore is a very good BFMer. Leighton's pretty good as well, but it has to do with BFM making it work together with your buddies is a whole nother ball game, and you have that's something we just haven't practiced, and we neglected it, and it shows here.
Well, Joe, just shows anything can happen. You never know. You know, do you really think you're going to end up in a guns fight with a Tomcat match? Not really.
Not normally. No.
Basically, what you see, I mean, of course, we had missiles left, but in the second round, where I came in to merge with Squirtle low, and then I went into the vertical, and then Chewie came down through the vertical as I was going up, and he launched on Squirtle. That's kind of what you want, except with guns.
Yeah, and they were supporting each other, and I mean, yeah, that was a 3v1, and that was a death sentence for me. But yeah, so good flying by Ridge and his team. And you know, we have room to improve, but it was, you know, there were sadly a lot of critical mistakes that occurred on our part that really made the rounds quick and brutal. But hopefully we won't make so many brutal mistakes.
Roger. Okay, guys. I really enjoyed that. I know we couldn't get the track to work, which is why we're in here. But it's good to see some good fighting there. Any final thoughts before we? Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. Any final thoughts before because we've got to go and do our Sunday Fun Day now.
Well, just thought that it was a beautiful
match. Yeah, it was a good match and well played, both parties, and we're looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, we'll be playing you some more times, so we're going to get used to this Tomcat crap, I suppose.
28th is the next.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you for turning up, TFT and the GR boys, for giving us your insights. We're going to crack on and do some fun things. You're welcome to stay, but if not, that's fine. And I will see you later.